Most High, Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, double honor to the elders and apostles of JMS who rule well. Shalom to the elect. And I want to start off with the scripture. I've not really got a lot of scriptures, but I've got a couple videos. Hopefully the spirit hit me, I can bring more stuff out. But I'm going to start with this scripture. And I was thinking about this the other day, but I watched a video from one of the brothers and it came up. And it's Ecclesiasticus 14:5. Let me see. I'm gonna start at 4. He that gathereth by defrauding his own soul gathereth for others, that shall spend his goods righteously. And the scriptures talking about. Let's see if I can get. I'm gonna just read this verse. The scriptures talk about how in the last days people are gonna gather things up, and it's really gonna be for the elect. He that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good? He shall not take pleasure in his goods. And the brother was talking about, if you don't do the work, you're evil to yourself. And this is the beautiful thing about the scriptures, because it's like it has a multi-layered meaning. And you can see Esau is really evil to himself, because he really destroys his house. And if you're dealing with somebody who lives in filth, who destroys their own house, how they're gonna treat your house? Because ever since Esau's been put in charge of the earth, he's been destroying everything. What do you think he's gonna do to you when he doesn't even treat his people well? He overtaxes his people. He has all these laws to constrict the movement of his people. He's taken away the rights from his own people. So how can he then be good to anybody else? He shall not take pleasure in his goods. See, even all the stuff that Esau has, he doesn't even take pleasure in. He's got the house, he's got the mansion, he's got the car. But, you got all of this stuff, you marry a woman, she take half your stuff. You don't even enjoy the things that you have. And even that woman that you have is not yours. You know what I mean? It's just, the scriptures have so many layers. There is none worse than he that envieth himself. And that is a recompense of his wickedness. See, if you really look at the attitude of these Edomites, it's like they hate each other, and it's like your people are an extension of yourself. People have this whole thing of I'm an individual, and even the scriptures show you that's false, because when the Most High cursed Israel, he cursed all of Israel. He didn't just curse the ones that were bad. All of them got cursed. Moses got cursed. Even he couldn't see, Jerusalem. Everybody had to deal with the curses. It weren't just some people that had to deal with the curses. Even if you're a millionaire, you have to deal with some form of the curses. You know what I mean? So everybody gets judged as a whole. And it's really funny that Esau has this whole thing of judge me as an individual, when they judge Jake on a whole. They don't judge Jake as an individual. You know what I mean? I might say little things like, oh, you're not like the others or whatever, but they still look at him like he's a nigger. So it just shows you, that the scriptures, they really speak to the psychology of man. And this is a recompense of his wickedness. If he doeth good, he doeth it unwillingly. And that the last he will declare his wickedness. The same in the same thing. These little lockdowns that you had. Esau, he gave these people all these subsidies and all these furlough money, but he was doing good, but he was doing it unwillingly. He didn't really want to do that. And then the last he declared his wickedness, because you ended up having the wealth siphoned from the poor to the rich. So in the end, he was really for himself. It wasn't really for the good of the people. It was just putting you in a box. The same way they're trying to bring in this universal credit thing. I know in the UK they're doing that. I don't know about the US. But, it's like you think he's doing good, but whatever good that comes from that for yourself, you may come up off it. He's not doing it willingly. In the end, when he turns around and, he says the only way for you to get this money is to do this and that, and you've put yourself in a box because you've been claiming this money all this time and you become dependent on it, then he's going to show his wickedness. The same thing he's going to do, with this M-A-R-K. He's going to put people in a position where they're dependent on him, and then once he has that, then gonna come up with all these rules that you have to follow. See, this man is really devious, and it talks about, you know, let me see if I can get it. Let's see if I can get this scripture. I don't even know if I don't even know if that's a scripture. Let's read the scripture anyway. This is Jeremiah 17:9. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? And Esau is desperately wicked. You know, the envious man has a wicked eye. He turneth his face and he despiseth men. As I said, he hates his own people. And I was looking at this little broadcast. I was just gonna play a little clip of it and a couple of videos just to illustrate how this man really hates his own people. Because these Ukrainians, you know, these quote-unquote neo-Nazis, they're his own people, and look at
until now has largely escaped unscathed since the Russian invasion began. The latest reports say 6 people have been killed and 8 wounded. Residents spoke of hearing 5 explosions on the outskirts of the city, and smoke was seen rising from residential areas. Overnight, there's been an apparent intensification of the Russian bombardment of Ukraine, with multiple targets across the country targeted by airstrikes and shelling. 5 people have reportedly been killed and 13 injured.
No, I'm not gonna play the whole thing, but at the end of the day, you know, you don't.
Y'all seen this post right here? With this girl?
And I'm just gonna mix a few topics in there, and it's like our women are really in the spirit of Esau, and I'ma just play it just so you see what I'm talking about.
I said she can't submit to a broke man. Why not? What happened if he broke? He got good credit and he's a great man, but you got the plug to help put him in position so that he could be able to provide for you guys the way that you want. You still ain't gonna deal with him, because it's all about a woman being put in position over a man, and the man is supposed to solely provide for a woman, and that's just it. What happens? Let me tell you what you're never gonna hear though. You're never gonna hear a man say, "I can't deal with no broke." It's rare that you're going to hear that. Well, I can't submit to a broke woman. Because one thing about submission is a revolving door and it goes both ways.
No, I gotta stop right there just to try and elaborate on what she's saying and what I was saying, which is Esau is really wicked to himself, because he's done all these things to elevate his woman, but really and truly he's destroyed his own house. And the scripture's talking about rolling a stone and it falling on yourself. You know what I mean? Because she's saying, you know, submission is a revolving door. Now we submit to, you know, Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, but it's not a revolving door. You know, Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai is not going to submit onto us. And this is the thing. You need to really watch the words of these people when they speak, because they come in the same spirit as Esau. When Esau says something, you really need to watch the words that he's saying. You know, even I use an example. You know, so you be on the railway tracks and they say you may not cross. You may be fined. You know, it's to say your ass gonna be fined, but if it was the queen that decided to cross it, she's not gonna be fined. So it's depending on who you are, because this man doesn't really deal with laws. And I even went into the definition of what laws is. But before that, let me just let me get this. Which just shows you that, you know, even our women are going off, because they really buy into this bull crap. You know what I mean? Even when they're pretending that they're submissive, they got the little look at the little
Y'all seen this post right here?
Look at the little nails, the little dead giveaway that she really a demon pretending that she's righteous. 1 Corinthians, I'm gonna start at 1. Be ye followers of me, even as I also am of Hamashiach. Now I praise you, brethren, that ye remember me in all things and keep the ordinances as I deliver them to you. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Hamashiach, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Hamashiach is Yahweh. So it just shows you right there and then there's the order. It's not a revolving door. This is order. It seems like submission goes both ways, because when you submit to a righteous king, to a righteous ruler, they're not gonna abuse the authority that I have over you. They actually understand that, it's a responsibility that I have towards you because you put your trust in them. The same way when a woman puts her trust in a man, if it's a righteous man, he's going to understand, okay, she's put her trust in me, I have to deal with her righteously. So it seems like you're submitting to her because you're doing all of this stuff, but really she's supposed to submit onto you, but they it's like those look, you really got to watch certain things that these women say. And this goes back to my point about this man being evil to himself. Look at how he treats his own people. If this man really cared about himself, he wouldn't put himself in a position where the Lord is going to flame him up like he did Sodom and Gomorrah. Because these people know the scriptures. They know what's going to happen when you do all of this stuff. They know the Lord is going to be pissed and there's going to be recompense for it. But it's like, you don't care. He really think is and it just shows you that this man he's a madman. It says here, Disney is removing gendered terms ladies and gentlemen and boys and girls from their parks. We provided trainings for all of our cast members, so now they know it's hello everyone or hello friends. Vivian Ware, Disney's diversity and inclusive manager. Disney corporate president Carrie Burke vows to make at least 50% of Disney's future characters LGBTQIA and racial minorities. Now, before, the brothers and sisters who may watch this know that LGBTQ was a thing, and now you have IA. Now they're going to have P at the end, and you know what that P stands for. These people are reprobates.
It actually is true. We have many, many, many LGBTQIA characters in our stories, and yet we don't have enough leads and narratives in which gay characters just get to be characters.
Now, this is what Jake used to say back in the day when they'd be in the movies. We're in the movies, but we don't get to be characters. We're a caricature of what a black person is. Now, they're feigning to be the new, the new minorities or the oppressed group. And you realize they put LGBTQ first before minorities. And when you go in that minority, Jake is last on that list. So these people are, like, it just even shows you that these people are thieves because they're constantly pretending to be somebody that they're not. They pretended to be Jake, and now they're on top in a position. Now they're pretending to be oppressed. They want all positions. They want to cover everything. They're the leader. They're oppressed. They're the great heroes. They're the villains, and they just want to completely just wipe Jake off the map. You know what I mean? But Jake thinks these people are for them, and these people are not for them.
Bye bye.
And this last one here.
Come back, man. Come back. Come back. Give me the paper again.
She was done, and the man called her back.
Come on, will be 10,000.
Are you serious?
I am serious. Adios.
And do you know why he did that? Because she was like, adios. She was like, yeah, bye. And he got so hurt, he got so cut that he called her back and he put her bond on 10,000 when he probably just let her go. He probably 500 or so. I don't know the full context of the story, but this is this man just abusing his power. He's evil to his own people. Now, when you deal with a law, and I looked up the quote-unquote Google definition of it, the system of rules which a particular country or community recognizes as regulating the actions of its members in which it may enforce by the imposition of penalties. Now, that's not what a real law is. I look all for it. I click down, and then when you look on here, the precepts of the Pentateuch, law of Moses, plural, the law. See, that's what the real laws are. Laws are immutable, irrefutable. You don't change a law based on your whim. You don't. You know what I mean? You don't rape somebody who raped somebody because you felt like they deserve to feel what it's like to be raped. You kill them because that's what the law says that you deal. That's how you deal with rapists. There's a judgment for the transgression that's taken place. But this man here, he'll have his own laws and he just makes it up as he goes along. And he does that to his own people, showing you that this man, if he's not even good to himself, who shall he be good for? And I looked into the Hebrew definition: law, decree, commandments, precept, ordinances, judgment. I didn't really have time to look through this, and I only got 15 minutes. But I may expound on this later on. But it just shows you that this man don't care nothing for his own self and his own people. We can't trust on this man. The only thing we can trust is Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. All praises to the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Jim. Well, shalom to the elect.